Good evening, folks. Thanks so much for having me. I'm Gary Brummett. I am a realtor in town. You might have seen my face on a street sign somewhere. Okay. Who's seen Play It Forward out there? That's excellent. Excellent. I hope that you had an opportunity to buy a meal for someone who's got some food insecurity or to make a donation. The Play It Forward model, and I'm going to play with. There we go. I'm going to move this. There we go. What is Play It Forward Southington? The Play It Forward model is a pay it forward model, meal by meal, whereby you enter a participating restaurant, you buy yourself an egg sandwich and a coffee, or a lunch, turkey dinner, whatever you like, and you buy an extra one, and you ask that restaurateur to please take the second one, put it on a separate ticket, put it on the board. The board is a place where people who are food insecure in town and from other surrounding towns come in and they are able to get it, the meal. So it's really food sharing, meal by meal, on a very small scale, and can be done with as little as $5, right? A muffin and a coffee, go to the Lion's Den, stuff like that, fancy. It was started almost 1 year ago, so we're 10 months into it, and that's why we're here today, because March 3rd is an important date. That's when we first started this. Me and my Friday morning breakfast club. The FMBC, I started a business networking group at the behest of my then broker, Shelly Meister, and she said, you gotta have your own group. So I started it, and I wanted to be different than all the other business networking groups that I know about, especially B&I. Many of you have probably some experience there. So I built it with a philanthropic slant. I wanted everyone to pitch in for their breakfasts for the quarter, and I knew we would not spend all the money, and we would make a donation, make a little vote, give a donation to someone around town. In addition, we moved from restaurant to restaurant to restaurant to restaurant to spread the love around the town. We'll stay at the restaurant for 6 breakfasts. That's a hard word for breakfasts. Sorry. So we put in our $100. We end up with extra money. Over the months, every quarter we make a donation. We've given to the Early Childhood Collaborative, Bread for Life, the Leaf Farm, and a bunch of other stuff. Actually, Ryan right here, Ryan Dumont from Goosehead Insurance, is one of my colleagues, one of the original members of the Friday Morning Breakfast Club. Ryan. So let's see. Play it forward. How does it work? Well, yeah, you buy a meal and they put it on the board basically. Folks can call ahead to the restaurant and ask for it to be packaged up to go. There's no stigma. We have a training program for the staffs in the restaurant where we teach them about being welcoming, never questioning, et cetera, et cetera. They can, and we send out newsletters in the 200 or so bags of groceries that Janet Mellon at the Community Services puts out. We've hung flyers in church vestibules and all over town, and we absolutely get the word out around town through the Bread for Life people. Donna and Missy specifically, and there's a little network of people. They all know each other from there. It's, Missy and Donna have really built like a family atmosphere. If you've served there, if you've eaten with those folks, you know it's really quite wonderful over there. Hey, there's a board. Look at all those tickets. Without trying to sound too arrogant, this is a successful program. We're 10 months into it, and I never in my wildest dreams imagined that it would be that I'd be standing here today, or that we would have 6 restaurants with other restaurants asking me to please, can we be involved? I think 6 is a good number for town. We can talk about that later afterwards. We don't want to dilute the impact to the restaurants, because you know what? They're partners with us, and they're getting a little bump from it as well. Temps with the QR code. There you go. Let's see. Let's do one more. There you go. Everybody, take your cell phone out for me. Come on. Take a picture of that thing. Here's your cell phone. Oh, never mind. I'll leave this around. Yeah. Oh, it's on the magnet. So listen, that's going to take your phone directly to the Community Foundation of Greater New Britain's fund for Play It Forward Southington. The Community Foundation manages all of our money. The Community Foundation, as I'm sure you're all aware, oversees the 4 towns of Southington, Plainville, Berlin, and New Britain. Dave Obudzinski, Kayla, Jolene, all those folks, very, very good friends of mine, very close. They manage the funds. Donna Ayer at Bread for Life manages the disbursement of those funds. So if I have to buy something, I don't need to be a nonprofit officially myself, Gary Brummett, 503CB, blah, 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 whatever it is. I don't know. But she just cuts me a check, and there's my receipts, and everybody signs off on it. It's all above board and legal. So let's see, our reach. We've been receiving questions from other communities. Most recently, the town of West Hartford, they have a police officer in the West Hartford PD who's their community services officer, and he lives in town, and he went into Fancy Bagel, and he looked at it, and he was like, my gosh, what is this? Took a picture, he followed up with me, he's brought it back to West Hartford, and they're talking in West Hartford. I think Wehow would be an amazing community to have this in, considering the towns of West Hartford borders as well. And again, we look at West Hartford, we might look at Cheshire, we might look at Southington. People look at Southington, oh, very affluent community. Food insecurity, what's that? We have no idea what's going on inside people's houses. You got neighbors in a real nice house right next to you, and you don't know that they're struggling to make their payments and pay for the heat, and etc. The people that show up at Janet Mellon's, they drive cars. Some of them have jobs. I know darn well that recipients of this program, especially Chick-fil-A, I know for sure there are people who are taking advantage of this who are working folks. So a working wage, I won't pontificate. The benefits to these folks. So we do have some homeless folks living in town, and we also have people living in their cars. We have people living in sheds. I know them. We have people who are trying to help get jobs. This is all through Bread for Life and the Community Foundation. Excuse me. These folks are getting more than a meal. They're not just getting a hot breakfast sandwich and a coffee. They're getting an understanding that they are community members who live among a community that has the ability in little bits to provide some passion and compassion and to share the wealth that we all have in just small ways. A $5 coffee and a breakfast sandwich is not going to break anybody's budget in this room. I'm sure of it, but it will mean a whole lot. And it's more than food, it's about how they feel and how welcome they are. Jackie will talk a little bit about the treatment that our clients, our food insecure clients, get when they come into Fancy Bagel. Thank you. Okay, so here they are. Here's the 6 restaurants. We have the original Fancy Bagel and the original Paul Gregory's, Teresa and Ashley and Dominic and what's your name? Jackie? Thanks. They were our first 2 restaurants. I'm going to tell you, without telling you who it was, I was rebuked by 2 restaurants in town who thought that they really didn't want to have anything to do with me and this program. So, what else do we got? We got Fancy Bagel Express. We have Chick-fil-A. And that was a hard one for me because I really wanted this to be hometown owners, operators. But Mike Hartman has shown through his operating of Chick-fil-A how vested he and his team and his franchise are really in the community. The things that Donna Ayer and Missy Cipriano were able to say about Mike Hartman up front, it took some turning around for me to say, yeah, let's do a chain. But I'm going to tell you, the #1 restaurant that is always out of tickets, that does not have enough patrons to support what they give away, is Chick-fil-A. We get on the phone. Roger Dietz from RDS Media, you guys probably know him too. He's my contact person to the participating restaurants. And all he has to do is pick up the phone and call Dave Obudzinski, who's got a credit card. Dave comes over from New Britain, he slaps down a couple $100, buys a bunch of meals at Chick-fil-A, and then they fill the board back up. And that's our money. It's drawn straight out of our fund there at and we've got Lion's Den, awesome. Vinny, Lion's Den, Italian. Any of you guys from Italy, you know there's they've got Italian saying for the coffee in advance. Cafe and forward, never mind. All right, sorry, trying to read this little one here. What do we got? Coffee shop. Saints. Am I leaving somebody out? No, Saints. Saints just joined us. Boy, if you know John, I ran into Claudia. We started having our meetings there one time. You know, I've been in town since 2019, and I always thought Saints was in Plainville. Sorry. I really did. And people are like, we gotta go to Saints. It's in Plainville. We're Southington group. We gotta support Southington. So finally someone said, look at the address. It's Southington. So we started with Saints. Claudia, John, Ashley, family-oriented, wonderful, wonderful folks. They've actually stumbled upon what's going to work best for them. And again, we always let this We let the restaurateur. I never want this to be a burden to the restaurant. They have to run their restaurant. They take care of their business. We're just here to give them a little something to augment it. Saints has decided that instead of all these tickets that people have to look through and pick out what this says and what that says, they're going to convert all the donations into like $12 or $15 gift cards and give someone a gift card. You put the gift cards with your magnet, right? Your magnet goes on that board. That board is a chalkboard that's magnetic metal, kind of cool technology. So anyway, there's Dominic and Jackie on the first day of opening up. It was a Thursday, and we opened a Fancy Bagel on Queen and Paul Gregory's the very same day. And you guys know Dominic. He's kind of quiet, and look at that smile, man. He does it, you got to catch him on a good one there. All right, this is Ashley and Andrew. Teresa was out like driving food around somewhere. This is the first day over at the new Paul Gregory. And Teresa, both Teresa and Jackie, neither one of them took one split second of hesitation when I presented this to say, oh my gosh, yes. You don't even have to tell me what it's, yeah, let's do it. They're just wonderful, wonderful people. Here we are. We're at Express, Fancy Bagel Express. There's Dominic smiling again. I must have a good effect on him, huh?
Seriously.
Yeah, Roger Dietz and myself and that Martaccio kid back there, Louis Trey, right? So, and Chris, you guys, he's really, really, really cool guy. This establishment and Lion's Den have got more customers giving money than any of the other ones. It's just amazing the amount of money that people are dropping in there. There's the table tent. It's in the restaurants. So if people don't want to buy another meal or they forgot about it, or they didn't know about it till they sat down, they can just scan the QR code and make a donation. Oh yeah, we were awarded. So Teresa, myself, and Jackie, we got the champion awards right here from the Community Foundation of Greater New Britain. We are champions for our work in the community for 2023. It was an amazing day. This is where it all started. I was in Wetumpka, Alabama. My kids stationed down there in the Air Force, and we went out with the grandkids and we went out to lunch, and we were in a sandwich shop and waiting for our sandwiches order to be made. And I'm sitting down and I turn around and there's that board on the wall, and it's from some church or something, right? And I was like, that's pretty cool. That's cool. I took a picture of it, came back, and this picture is 5 years or 6 years old. That's how long that picture's been sitting in my pocket. And I kind of spread the idea around a little bit with some restaurateurs. Nobody really bit. When our breakfast group, Friday Morning Breakfast Club, ended the third quarter of our first year, we had a kitty left over from people not showing up to breakfast of $480. So one of our members, Frank Vesci, the back doctor from New Britain Chiropractic, he pulled out a $20 bill. He said, "Gary, I like round numbers. Let's make it 500." I'm like, wow, this is money we can do something with. So sure enough, with $500 in my hand, I remembered this program. Sat down with Dave and Community Foundation, sat down with Donna, and we fleshed out how it would go, sourced all the products, put the whole thing together. What I guess I'd like to do right now is give Jackie a moment. You want to say something about your experiences? Yeah. Okay. Jackie hugs everybody. If you haven't been in there for a hug,
yes.
Go ahead. Tell them some of your stuff, and then I'll come back and finish up.
Yep.
We're getting close to the end.
Okay.
Thank you for your time, everybody.
First of all, we're very honored to do it. Our customers are amazing. We have done well over 500 tickets. There's not a day goes by when there's nothing on that board. I still have money from Dave to use, but everybody keeps coming and keeps donating, so I'll just put it aside till we need it. 99.9% of the people are all for it. They think it's the best thing that we could have done. They stand behind us. They stand behind the whole program. As far as giving hugs, yeah, I was told, I had one girl came in and she was really down and whatever, and she had this little piece of paper that said about the plate of four, and I said, yeah, come on over here, look through, see what you need. So I gave her a hug, and she went back to Missy, and Donna said I made her day because I gave her a, you could come in a 3-piece suit, I don't care. because you could be going on a job interview. You could have just gotten laid off your job. We don't judge anybody. Anybody could come in, I don't care what you drive, whatever, and that's what it's for, and people do it. I have a lady comes in faithfully every week, every other week. She will buy one coffee, but yet she'll buy a meal every time when bored. And I'm just happy to say that our customers are really great, and if there's nothing up there, I'll put something on there, you know. It's amazing. And just the gratification, it doesn't cost me anything, it doesn't cost Dominic anything. We're not losing any money at all. We're not gaining it, we're helping out people who need it, and everybody needs a hand every now and then. Let's face it, we've all been there, and it's gonna be around, so, thank you.
Thanks, Jackie.
Yeah.
Thanks, Jackie.
All right, come on.
I know. Get away from her. What Jackie's saying about putting meals on the board is true with all of the restaurateurs. Teresa, we have some corporate sponsorship. I skipped over a couple things. We have some corporate sponsorship from COCC, which donates 10 meals a week directly through Paul Gregory's. We have received $1,000 from the Calvin East Foundation, and we received $500 a quarter from Worldwide Wines and Spirits. Most of you probably know that dude. He's everywhere also. So, thank you. We're gonna go real quick here. Basically what we're looking for, the 3rd of March is actually the anniversary of the whole program. So it's 1 year. We have probably distributed over 10,000 meals. And I didn't have a chance to get with every single operator. We've been asking them to keep the tickets. I think we're at 1,000 meals a month for food insecure people. Hot meals, ready to eat meals, ready to go. And in 10 months, it's absolutely blown my mind. So what we're looking for, we've already reserved the board on the town green or whatever it is. Joanne Kelleher with the Early Childhood Collaborative and Kelleher Creates. She's got that for us. We also got Susan Rilla Larson of Perfect Type making a banner the right size that's going to cover that. So we got a spot on the green for that week. What we'd really like to do is to get the town council and the town in general behind Plate It Forward Week. We can flesh out what that's going to look like. We're going to do a marketing blitz. I'm not sure we're absolutely going to get the Community Foundation and Bread for Life and Southington Community Services. And we'd like to include whoever from the town council would like to step up and do a little bit with this. Chris Poulos has committed already to doing a proclamation for the establishment of blah 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 blah, whatever that stuff goes. So I guess thank you so much for this opportunity. It's very, very important to me. I appreciate your time very much, and I would answer any questions, but I don't want to eat up too much of your time. So, thank you.
Thank you very much. Wonderful. Anybody have questions?
Oh, can I just,
Oh, yes. Yeah, I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, that's okay. Gary, I just want to thank you for all you're doing.
Thanks. Thank you very much.
And I know you do work with Bread for Life with the honey company and the bread.
I do.
Right, I had a
That's
conversation
right.
with Donna.
The
Donna
social
Harris
enterprise,
Company.
yes.
Yeah.
The steering committee.
So Donna could not be here tonight, but she asked me if I could just mention, I think Gary's familiar with it. So this book is called Free Lunch. I don't know if any of you have been able to find out about it yet. So what Bread for Life is doing, what Donna and Missy are doing, this is about food insecurity. They had a community conversation in September, I believe it was, to get it started with the community about food insecurity. And this book, the library is giving it out, Bread for Life is giving out copies, you can get it on Amazon. It's a